Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel leelawebdev. In the previous video, we have seen how we can successfully create the Nginx container using in the Docker engine. We have seen it. Now let's take another example for creating the MySQL in the Docker. So how we can create a MySQL database in the Docker. So in order to create this MySQL, first what we need to do is we need to search for the image in the Docker Hub. So that is the Docker Hub registry, right? So we need to search for this one. So for that, what we need to do, we need to search for Docker Hub. And this is the website you already know. We have already seen for downloading the Nginx image also. So in the same repo in the Docker Hub registry, I will be searching for the MySQL. So now here I have typed MySQL. And now in this one, you will be able to see the MySQL is the first one, and this batch is nothing but the Docker official image. And here you will be able to see a MariaDB, and another batch is also there is also a Docker official image, and you will be able to see a Percona, and here phpMyAdmin and CircleCI/MySQL, so bitnamil/MySQL. So like this, you will be able to see so many options is there. So right now in this video, we are trying to install or create a container of MySQL, and this is the official Docker image. So let's try to install this one only. So here if I try to open this MySQL, and you will be able to see MySQL, and this is a relational database management system, that is nothing but RDBMS. So it contains a relational databases, like you will be having a relation like foreign key relations, these all things. So the competitor for the alternatives for the relational database are something like Oracle, SQL Server, PostgreSQL. So these are all the alternatives for the MySQL. So these all comes under the relational database management system. So what is the reason for the MySQL is an open source, and also Postgre, these all the things also MySQL is an open source only, whereas Oracle, SQL Server, these are not open source. So this is an open source RDBMS, or the MySQL is an open source relation database, and we will try to create a container using this MySQL image. So here you will be able to see the tags also. So if you come down, if you go to the tag section, and here you will be able to see the different types of tags. So 8 version, 8.08 Debian. So like this, you will be able to see the different versions is there. And also we know that this tag is nothing but a version. So whichever you want to install, you can install it. So like this docker pull MySQL : and you can give the particular version or the tag. And right now I want to download the image of latest, so I can download it directly this one. So for this one, what we need to do, so the first command what we need to do is, so first of all, let's check that whether the image is available in our system or not. If you try to see, there is only one image available, that is nothing but Nginx. So this one we have already downloaded in our previous video. So now we need to pull the image MySQL. So let's say that whether we have any containers existing running or not. So I think most probably we have deleted all the containers, I think. So right now we don't have any containers also running in our system or running in our Docker engine. So first let's try to download the image. So docker pull MySQL. So whenever you type this command, automatically it will try to contact the Docker Hub, and by default, if it doesn't mention any version or the tag, : tag means by default it will take the latest. So now it has started downloading the layers one by one. So everything, the container, the image it will be downloaded, and using this image we will try to create the container. So it will take some time depending on your internet connection. So it will take some time. So for some people it may be finished very quickly, and for some people it may take some time. So for me it is taking some time, so let it take. And what we will be trying to do, so after pulling this image, so most probably this one is completing, I think. So after pulling this image, what we need to do, so we need to create the container. So now let's try to create the container. Without pulling the image also we can create the container directly. You can write docker container run, and using that command you can create it. First it will try to check the image whether it is locally available or not. If it is not locally available means, then it will try to pull the image and it will place it in our system, and then from that image it will create the container. So that in that option also you can do it, or otherwise so you can pull the command, you can pull this also like this, and also you can do it. Now let's try to open this website. So this is the MySQL, right? And here let's go to our overview, and the supported tags you will be able to see 8.488 like this, we are able to see it. So now what is this MySQL? MySQL is the world's most popular open source database with its proven performance, reliability and ease of use, it seems. So how to use this image? So how to use this image means, so we need to run the command docker run, okay, -d, it is using the detach mode and it is giving the name of the container, and we need to give -e mysql underscore root underscore password. So this is the, and here these are all environment variables. So if you try to see, these are all mysql underscore root underscore password is an environment variables. One second. So here is, these are my environment variables. So we need to provide these all the environment variables, and here MySQL and the tag you will be able to see. So let's try to see this one. So coming down, so these are all the things we will learn one by one. So right now these are not needed. So here you will be able to see environment variables. So when you start the MySQL image, you can adjust the configuration of the MySQL instance. So it is trying to tell that we need to give some environment variables. So see also the website here, so it is giving some link, and here you will be able to see all the lot of what are all the environment variables that are supported for this MySQL. So right now, so what are mandatory, we need to give it. So if I go here into this MySQL, let's go down, and where is this environment variables. Oh sorry, I have already moved to down, I think. Yeah. So here you will be able to see environment variables. So MySQL underscore root underscore password. So for every MySQL, so you will be having a root user, and we need to provide the password for this one. So this variable is mandatory. So that means I need to provide this root password, and this for root super user. So the password will be set for this one. So now another one is MySQL database. So if you want to create a database by default at the time of creation only, so you can give this MySQL database. And here if you want to give any other user and the password means, so you can give these two environment variables. And here MySQL empty underscore password means, so it will give an empty password, and random root password is nothing but the random password it will be generated. So one time password. So like this it will be created. So these are the different types of environment variables you are having. So right now for the, this is the only mandatory one. Why? Because so without creating the password for the root user, so we cannot log in into the MySQL. So that is the reason we need to create a password. So now I hope that the Docker image has been successfully downloaded. So in order to check the image whether it is downloaded or not, so we will use the command docker image ls. And now the MySQL image has been downloaded, and it has took 578 MB of size. So fine. So let's try to run the command. So we know the command, that is nothing but docker. So let's try to go top. Yeah, docker run, these are all the things we are having, right? So let's try to create it. So here I am creating a container, docker container run -detach mode -t and -i, terminal mode and interactive mode. And now I need to give the name of the container. So I will give MySQL container, okay, MySQL container I will give it, and I need to give the host name. So that is nothing but inside that container I need to give the host name for that one. So that is nothing but MySQL DB server. So whatever the name you want, you can give it. And I need to set the environment variables. So the first environment variable is MySQL underscore root underscore password. Okay, so this is the password I need to give it. Okay, so where it is located? So let's try to minimize this one. Yeah, MySQL underscore root underscore password. So what I need to give is equal to I will give test 1 2 3 4. So this is only for the test scenario. So we can set it afterwards inside the container also, but for the, this is a basic approach which I am trying to show you how to create a container. Because of that reason I am showing it like this. And we have created MySQL underscore root underscore password test 1 2 3, and I will set another environment variable, that is nothing but MySQL underscore root underscore host. So this is nothing but I will give it as an percentage. So that means anyone can connect to this. Outside anyone can connect, or otherwise any IP address can connect to this MySQL server, this one. Or otherwise normally this one is an unsecure one. So for security reasons, so you need to specify only the particular IP address from which you want to connect to this MySQL server. So but right now, so this is a testing purpose, I am giving percentage, so that means anyone can connect to this MySQL. So these are the two environment variables I am giving, and I will give the image name. That's it. Okay. So now if I try to press enter, automatically the container will be created within a fraction of a second. The container has been created. So that's it. So now if you want to check the status of this one, docker container ps, if you try to see, the container has been created. By default, the MySQL server will listen to the port 3306. So this is the common thing. If you doesn't mention any port, means automatically by default 3306 is the default port for which MySQL will be listening. So if you want to modify, means you can modify that port also. And this is the name of the container, MySQL-container. So now, so we have successfully connected to this one. And what is the IP address or the hostname that has been, what is the IP address that has been assigned to this one? So most probably 172.17.02 only. Why? Because it doesn't have any containers, right? So all the containers are free. So that is the reason. So it may be having like that. So if you want to check it, means docker container inspect MySQL container, right? So if I try to press enter, and the IP address the assigned is the 172.17.0.2. So now you will be able to see. Now what I want to do it is, so now I want to connect to the MySQL server and see the and I need to check the databases. So how we can connect? So somehow, so we need to write MySQL here. So in order to connect, if I try to press enter, it is telling that MySQL not found but can be installed with like this. So that means in order to connect to the MySQL server, somehow you need to have a MySQL client. So there you mean the MySQL client, you will try to type the commands or the queries and it will be connected to the server. In the same scenario, Docker server will be there and the Docker client CLI will be there, right? In the same scenario, SQL server is there and now I need to connect to the SQL server using the SQL client. So right now the Docker engine is in the same system, the container is running in the same local machine, and I will try to install the MySQL client also in the same machine only, so that we can connect it automatically. Now for this one, what I need to do, so this is the command it is telling to install the MySQL client. Okay, so let's copy it and I will install this one. So now it is asking for the password. Okay, let's try to get the password, and automatically it is installing the MySQL client. And after installing the MySQL client, now I can able to successfully connect to the MySQL server, that is nothing but our container. So already our container or the MySQL server is running in the container, so we need to connect to it. So right now both the client and the server is in the local system only, or rather in the same machine only, so we can connect it without any problem. Now if I want to connect, means MySQL -h, the host name is nothing but 172.17.0.2 and user is root and password is -p. Now if I press enter, so it will ask you for the SQL password. So we are already given test1234. Now see, we have automatically connected to this one. So now you will be able to see MySQL prompt is coming. Now if you want to check the databases, show databases, and it will give you all the list of databases that are available. And if I want to create a database, means create database Leela webdev. So now query okay, one row affected, so that means database has been created. So now here, if I try to check show databases, so now you will be able to see Leela webdev is there. And if you want to go into the database, means use Leela webdev, so you will select the database and database has been changed, and now you can check the tables and everything. So you don't have any table, and now you can create a table name, and like that you can create it. So right now I am not going deeper into this one. So this is how we will be connecting into the MySQL database. Now if I want to exit from here, means so just type exit, that's it. So now we are successfully came out from the MySQL server. So this is how we will be creating the MySQL container using the Docker engine. So now you hope you understood about this MySQL thing. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.